You guys were second in defense last year, first in scoring. I mean, just can this defense get any better?
Absolutely. I think there was times we played really well last year, and there's times we didn't play as well. And I think you look at some games, and I think if you look at a game towards the beginning of the year, we played Seattle early on. They had a drive against us at the end of the game. We were able to finish. Buffalo was like that. They drove at the end of the game. We weren't able to finish. So. That's one small thing at the beginning of the year. We got to get on the same page starting from game one and not let that happen. So I think that's one instance where we get better. So there's a ton of other ones, but that's just one spot where if we can finish games at the end of the game, it puts us in a better spot.
Have that whole front seven back, I imagine.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I was super excited. You get the big guys inside. Dwan, Colin, Star, and Kwan. We got guys on the edge that can get it after the passer. So. You can talk to AJ, you talk to Thomas, you talk to Chase, you talk to those guys, and those guys are playing well. We're excited about it.
How about with the new secondary, a lot of you guys back there? Have you seen a difference back there at all, or how do you feel like they're doing?
I think they're doing great. I think, Thomas and Roman are veteran guys back there, and Antoine's a veteran guy too. And one thing they do exceptionally well is talk and communicate. And in the back end, those guys, they communicate like that. It puts everybody in a better position, allows us to play faster. And that's one thing I'm excited about those guys is the ability that they have to be confident in their communications.
With the turnover, how important was it that those guys are veteran guys there just to plug right in?
Oh, I think it definitely helps us. Those guys, like I said, they're veterans. They've been in the system, and one thing that helps us, I think, too, is those guys are divisional guys. So, they've been in the divisions for a while, and they kind of know the ins and outs of the teams, and I think that definitely benefits us.
Luke, I was watching you sign autographs after practice. Do you ever get writer's cramp?
No, I'm good with that. You got those guys come out and watch us, so you got to show a little appreciation. We got great fans, and we really appreciate those guys coming out for us.
Kelvin missed today. As a rookie, how important is each one of these reps when you're a rookie coming in trying to pick up everything? How important is each day?
Oh, each day is important. There's always something you can work on, and Kelvin's done a great job. From the day he got here till now, I think I've seen strides. He's going up and making catches. He works hard, and we've had no problems with him. I think he's a guy that's willing to work, willing to learn, and he listens to his coaches. And I think that's something that you can't teach. If they got it, they got it. He's definitely got that.
Luke, you've always been a team-oriented guy, but in light of winning Defensive Player of the Year, how has your life changed, or has it changed?
I think it's been about the same. There's a couple other things. I had to do this offseason, but other than that, now it's it's football time. Everything's the same. Just got to keep knowing what's going on, doing my responsibility, and keep running around making plays.
Is the trophy still in the box?
The trophy, it's out. It's at home. So back in Cincinnati, so it's still there.
Luke, have you had more corporate or sponsorship opportunities? Are you finding yourself with those kind of things being asked of you, and are you having to say no to some stuff, just for time constraints?
Yeah, there's some things that have popped up. It was a fun off season. I was able to, go and do a couple of things, but the guys I'm working with are doing a great job of, once football season's here, and that's what I'm excited for. Is that stuff was in the off season. I had some good opportunities, but now it's football, and I get to do that now.
Do you like have more people on the street now, or?
Charlotte's great. It's one of those things. It kind of depends on where you go, but you're walking around with a couple guys on the team. I walk around with AJ and Richie quite a bit, so those are some bigger guys, so it sticks out a little more.
Are you ever tempted to talk about how good you are? Do you ever, like when you're alone in a room, say, "Man, am I good"? Are you ever tell people? Does it ever come out?
No, I think one thing that I like about football is it's a team game, and you guys brought up the front earlier today, and those guys make linebackers' jobs easier. Those guys are great guys inside. They do a great job for us, and I think it's we're like running back, and they're like the offensive line. If you look at it like an offensive perspective, if those guys aren't doing their job, you can't run the ball, and the guys up front, aren't doing their job, it makes our job more difficult. So I think that's one thing. What's good about football is it's a team game, and nobody can do anything by themselves.
With the start you've had in your career, have you maybe even surpassed your own expectations when you started in the league?
I came with an open mindset to be, to listen, to work hard, and see where it put me in. That's still my mindset, is to learn as much as I can, work as hard as I can, and listen to the coaches, because their jobs that make us, put us in good positions to make plays. And I think, for me, there's still things I can improve on, and I'm excited to keep working in that direction.
Luke, do you like all the endorsements and everything that you have to do? You strike me as a guy who just really wants to play football, even in the off season. Do you like doing that stuff?
I think it's definitely fun. You get to go a lot of cool places. You get to meet a lot of people. I've met a couple guys, different places, and that's one thing I think is cool about the NFL and those opportunities. You get to meet a guy here, you get to meet a guy there, and so that's cool. But football is what I love doing, and that's why I'm excited for this part of the year. Camp's back, the preseason games are right around the corner, so football's back, and we're all excited for that.
Coolest thing you did and coolest person you met?
Coolest thing I did, I think the Super Bowl, all that week was really cool, and you meet a whole bunch of guys. I don't really know if there's a coolest person I met, but that was a fun experience, and hopefully we're there this year playing.
Do you have cable yet?
I do have cable, so I got cable. Yeah, I did that.
Anybody you met outside of football that kind of stood out to you?
A lot of guys I've been beating have just been guys that I played against, watched, and in the NFL right now.
Has camp been different this year, coming off the divisional championship last year and all the hype going into this season?
Nope. Rivera's been talking about all the records are even now, so we got to go out and work. And I don't think camp's been any different. It's the tempo's good. Everybody's playing hard. It's still Spartanburg's still hot, so it's been fun. We're excited to get going and keep going again.
Luke, the last 3 years, I think it starts are 1-5, 1-6,
Yeah.
1-3. Yeah, you bounced back last year, but imagine that's a hole that you guys would prefer not to put yourself in to start the season. What do you got to do differently than maybe the past few years?
I think we got to start fast. I think that's the biggest thing. Is if you can start the season fast, it puts you in a better position early on. And I think last year was 1-3, and we got to that point where we're like, all right, we got to get going now. And I think it'd be more beneficial for us to start 3-1 or 4-0 and go from there.
Luke, now that you can afford cable, what's your favorite TV show to watch?
TV show, I'm a Discovery Channel, AMC to watch movies, History Channel, and flip on ESPN every once in a while. So, I'll flip around, see what's going on, whatever I think's cool, I'm going to flip that on.
You said there were some things that you still need to work on. What do you think?
I think I need to do a better job with my hands in the run game. In the pass game, I think coverage is always something that you can develop. And blitzing, that's another thing too. Is when the number's called, you got to go make a move. If you got a one-on-one, you got to make that. You got to make that happen. So that's what's good about camp is the pads are on, so you can move a little quicker. You don't have to worry about staying out of people's faces and stuff like that. So that's one thing. It's good in camp is you're on the offensive line. The guys that we're going against, Byron's been in there quite a bit, and Byron's a great guy to go against because he's long, he moves well, he's strong. He's athletic, so I think that's one thing that is beneficial towards me and the other linebackers. Is Byron and those tackles all do a great job with that.
Are you comfortable being one of the faces of the franchise in the NFL? Or are you getting comfortable sort of in that role that you've maybe been put into, not necessarily of your own doing?
I think as long as you do your job and you're accountable and you're in the right spot, it's easy to do. I think that's one thing is if I can just keep being myself and keep taking direction and I'm going to be just fine. I don't think there's necessarily a face thing. I think if I just keep doing my job, that's all I'm really concerned about.
What do you feel? And you see the two tight end sets and what they have to offer there. As a defense, what they're doing now, is it going to cause teams problems?
One of the things it's those guys are good. Greg, you guys already know about Greg, and I think we got a good positional battle in the tight end room. So, whatever they end up doing, I think it's going to be good for us.
What do you feel your increased national profile as an individual means for the franchise as a whole, especially for one that's not in one of the major cities?
For me, I think I don't really look at that stuff too much, and for me, it's just go out there, play football, and see what happens. That's not really my concern, but I guess if there's attention on the parents, I guess it's a good thing.
Luke, talk about this offseason, how there was so much turnover. Now a lot of guys are going to be focusing on you, looking at you as a leader. So how do you take on that leadership role going into your third training camp?
I think you just got to be accountable, you got to be on time, and you got to know what you're doing. I think that's one thing that you take pride in is what am I doing, what are the guys around me doing, and make sure I'm in the right spot at the right time. So I think, especially with the veteran guys coming in, they kind of get how training camp works, they get how the football and NFL works, and that's what makes that transition easy. Is those guys know what's going on, and you can talk to them just like they're talking to us, so it makes it good.
Did you hire, with all the stuff you have going on off the field, did you hire a publicist?
No, I didn't do that.
How close are you to paying attention to Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks, I don't have a TV in my room down here, so I'll probably not be watching it at all.
So you can't afford a cable down here.
I go back to my room, go to sleep.
Just teasing.
You guys good? Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.